Foods, this is the book actually, and the secret ingredients also was one of the book which was available. This one, it is named as genetically modified children, and there were lawsuits. Like I happened to watch a movie when I was trying to work on heavy metals and all that. You can always watch that movie called Erin Brockovich. It is there in Netflix now. Erin Brockovich, ERINBROC. That was Dr. Deva. It was a very well depicted kind of thing. They had shown on the level how mercury and hexavalent chromium has resulted in that. It's a 2-hour watch. It's a must watch. So again, it was from California, and there was glyphosate and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. There was a lawsuit. They were able to show this probably caused that lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and all that. So you can always go into the details of this lawsuits. There was a Monsanto is in trouble, and so are the other companies. But I can always tell you this is one thing which Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he is called Bobby Kennedy, and I had happened to communicate with him, chimpanzee. He has done a wonderful work, and he is basically a kind of big activist trying to talk in a big way, and he has got he worked a lot on this COVID also. This is how Monsanto uses, there were cancer trials and all that, and there is definitely the Bayer and Johnson, they had a decrease in the shares and all. See, why I am trying to bring all these things here is this particular thing which is causing not just degenerations and all that. It is one of the one thing is making all things crazy. It affects your immune system, fatty liver. To tell you something about fatty liver, as a endocrinologist, I used to pick up a lot of fatty livers, and people used to ask me, "Oh, what do you think about this fatty liver?" I tell them, "Okay, you need to stop some fat and all that, probably that way." Then I started looking into what is this fatty liver patients are up to. I diagnose on one, suppose if I diagnose now a fatty liver, and over a period of 3 to 4 years, he was bound to get into diabetes. So I picked up, there was a pre-diabetic marker. So we picked up, you have to be careful. We picked up these people who started developing diabetes, fatty liver, and immediately they were, now we believe this fatty livers and all that are again your accumulations, just accumulation things. Crohn's disease, you name anything, it is ulcerative colitis and all that. Probably Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, we have not heard that. I passed out in 1990 MBBS, and we have not heard that time. There was no ulcerative colitis cases and all that. Now we do, AIG is full of cases with Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. Inflammatory bowel disease is the one thing which is, and you have glyphosate, which is invariably associated with celiac disease. And I can always go on and on, but I thought, let me show this, because this is one thing which is bothering us, because unless we remove this offending cause, we are not getting the results what we are. The moment I try to look into like this, if a patient comes to me, I will try to see that his hypothyroid, his diabetes, or his hypertension. Within 3 to 4 months, he should go out of that thing. That's the way we started working on. And all the people who have joined today, they are all doing such wonderful work. And yes, I think we need to look at the denominator. And the denominator is probably you have to see that it's writing on the wall, and this is this was an important case actually. Tony Mitra, the Canadian activist, and I think you probably you should know this. This was in Vijayawada. Farmers warned against using glyphosate proper care. And Tony was here. He was not just in AP, he went to Bengal also, and he was trying to do that kind of thing, trying to tell the farmers and all that, this is the one thing. So I believe I am fortunate to work with Dr. Dr. Nasimareddy. Saraswati also was quite keen on this particular subject, but we want more Dr. Nasimareddys in this field so that we can, or as I was talking to Chakrapani ji, would like to present this particular stuff to agriculture industry professor, and we would like to work along with them. Health is not just subject of one particular people, and there are concerns. This particular slide I just picked up a lot. Then I realized, oh my God, citrus, nimbu, we used to think it's a wonderful thing. We used to think it's a wonderful. Every day one lime you cut and you take. You know what's happening with that? This has got food glyphosate. So citrus weed management programs use glyphosate. This has to be, I think, there is an amazing guy called Zen Hanikar. He found multiple glyphosate in all the oranges. We sometimes, as doctors, we believe what we are prescribing people. It is slightly difficult for us. It took me a long time to understand this particular stuff. Because citrus and another thing, honey, that has got some problems. Bee colony collapse syndrome. This is glyphosate chelates minerals. This is one thing which is we all have to. Glyphosate is a contaminant even in organic honey. See, as a kind of thing, I used to always tell, okay, honey, okay. People used to ask me, what is the type of honey? I used to tell, okay, you take organic honey, best thing. And last time I was into Araku, I picked up the best honey which is available. Then I came across this side. Then I said, what? Whether to use it or not. See, slightly, maybe I think I have got a mindset is quite fixed, I feel because that half bottle is just left like that. 1 liter bottle I got. Second half 500 ml is just left like that. Otherwise I was taking daily. So this is one thing which has to be taken with a pinch of salt. Honey should not be taken with a pinch of salt. There is a thing called regenerative agriculture. People they said, I'm trying to, there are 20 people still waiting, and I just want to make it slightly energizing and all that. So, Buddha, I always used to tell, Har ghadi badal wahi hai roop zindagi. Medicine ka future kaisa hoga, I know you are there. So, har pal yahan jeevar kha lo, only thing is khane ka hai. You have to be careful about organic or kya. I used to talk about, I started, Chakravarti, I went to Subhash Chandra Reddy ji. He called me in one of his public meetings. Public meetings in a morning walk. This was, he used to tell. So he said, okay, there are people walking, you talk to them. So I said, I started my talk with, hey bhai, zara dekh ke chalo. Aage bhi nahi, piche bhi. So I became so popular. There was a Hindi movie song, 100 song. So I started my talk with that. So one of the Sardarji was telling, "Arey, hey bhai, doctor kidhar hai?" So it was like. So I think this is what I wanted to show, and dirt to soil and all that. Organic farms are the answer. There are two things, and you need to go organic, and you need to eat a lot of probiotics. What are the natural things what you get at your place? You should look into that. And we have dearth of good things here, and we should believe in ourselves. And yes, we do use some things, Dr. Reddy. We use curcumin, vitamin C, glutathione, chlorine, Epsom salt baths. And with these protocols, we were able to remove the whatever residue pesticides are there. So the key mantra is now, I believe we need to use all these things and keep our slate clean. And And yes, we do get, we cannot say I don't want to take nati puri, I have to take chicken, but at the same time I have to be smart that whatever things are there, I have to do that. So this is very simple things. There are good friends of mine who are doing a wonderful work in Maharashtra. They do a lot of plants and all that. All of you know Dr. Nataraj Dravid. I think we should take it where he should be. He said he is not available for this lecture, but if he comes, I would have loved to listen from how he treats glyphosate poisoning. And these are the conclusions. We are at the crossroads when we choose to get from here. We choose to get sicker and sicker by destroying the ecosystem, or we can choose to drastically change our agricultural methods towards renewable organic solutions. So I think this is the bottom line. I think we need all of us should start, and I would like to take any questions and all that. If it is all of you have the opportunity to play a leadership role in transforming the way we grow fruits and all that, and we can always make a business also out of it. I'm sure, because if you are able to sell good things, you are definitely into this one. What do you think, Sridhar? You are smiling all the time. I was told, you told me you are not well, but it's great that you have straight throughout, Sridhar. And I'd like to open the forum here. Let us discuss whatever we can. You can always unmute yourself. I just see that if you can do that, or you can in chat, you can raise the hand and all that. Yeah, you can unmute yourself, and you have any things you can always do.
Well, I have
yeah, please. You need to introduce.
Srinivas Kumar, Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, please come, so that people will see actually. Here Mr. Srinivas is going to talk. Yeah, welcome Srinivas.
You can kindly introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Srinivas Kumar, Hyderabad is my name. And it so happened that SKY shortly, I can also be called Sky.
Oh.
And I am the founder of about half a dozen organizations. Founder of Sky Transformations, working on the transformation of the individual, family, organization and the society. I am also the founder of Sky Global Step, which is about total education transformations. I have a model called Sky Global School, wherein we consider the world only as the authentic school of learning, in which all the 800 crore population are regular learners until you reach the minimum graduation of self-realization. So like that, there are a couple of organizations. I am also the co-founder for Global Changeological Society and Movement, which I think will take off in a grand way all over the world. The simple point that I want to say on this lovely occasion, with the beautiful presentation from Dr. Praveen, is that specializations have had their benefit and the pain. People have taken up too much into specializations, some into physics, some into bio, some into specific areas of medicine and so on and so forth. And because of this specializations, the holistic understanding of things have got by and large lost, terribly lost. So therefore, it is high time now that hereafter, besides our respective special discussions, it is wonderful time hereafter that all people from various domains of specializations are collected together and we see things from multiple perspectives hereafter. And I very strongly recommend the whole world this kind of a culture, and I am ready to give all the cooperation in this regard. And normally I usually have a very pessimistic look at the doctors, and the corporatization of medical faculties, and you know the global cartels on the other side, how they perform. So I was always wondering how do we get closer to solutions. But today the greatest take home is I see some lovely doctors who are really putting their heads into problem solving, and that gives me a lot of cheer. And the 30-40 years of a lot of holistic thinking that I was undergoing, in which I could not get the right expressions. Suddenly, I think it looks like Hyderabad city is giving me several answers to a good number of my thinkings.
Sky is the limit.
Sky should not be the limit. Sky should not be the limit. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Let's all get connected and let's see, right in this lifetime of ours, we are going to be the powerful medium for positive change to happen. And let us not bow down to the sectarian approaches of life anywhere in the world. We are not going to literally fight it out. We are going to literally understand and start attempting to transform. And let's all take that vow right this moment, and let's stand for that, especially for ourselves, to have a glorious and a happy life. And much more than that, for the next generation, the kind of the children whom we gave birth, and their children, the grandchildren, and so on. Thank you, Anupam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sky. And we will definitely keep in touch with you. And here I am seeing Captain Arun Gode. Mr. Arunji, you have anything to ask or something like that? You have unmuted yourselves. Yeah, Arun, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Saxena. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. I really miss this particularly early in the morning because I had it from one of my very close friends who had come to the city after so many years, and he was to visit me. I simply couldn't avoid it. I said, "Hey, I'm sorry I'm not there with you, but believe me, all my attention is with you." That is why I have made this particular appearance in front of you, just to mark my attendance first. And then probably I will answer whatever you have discussed and decided. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Arun for attending. I must tell Captain Arun Gode was always there, and we went to some colleges, Lord's College. We went to there is one more. We spoke about some of the things like cell phone and all that to them. Ravi Pekle wants to talk something. Please, Ravi, go ahead.
Ravi,
Yeah.
lights and bulbs. You were talking about lights and bulbs. So, which bulb do you suggest for the born clinics, these lights?
No, the thing is, what I'm talking about, this white LED bulbs and all that are a slightly issue if you can just deep dive into that, because the kind of dirty electricity which produces is quite high. I would definitely like to switch off to yellow bulbs. Yellow bulbs are more easier. And no bulbs after 10 o'clock. 10 p.m. after that you should not use any bulbs. You have to totally go dark. And if you don't follow that pattern of sleep wakefulness and you start using that, your thing is gone. Yeah, Ravi.
Alright, yellow bulb that is.
Thank you. Yes, Gurdas ji, I want to hear from Malaysia. Yeah. Yeah. Then can you be more? Can you just bring the mic before? Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Gurdel. I think you always have you are a lateral thinker and you had always out-of-box solutions for good, complex things. And I love the way you give that simple answers for a very complex question. And that's how we got together and all that. And one thing is, someone was, there is one more deputy director from NI retired. This guy was, who comes and he was about to give a talk and all that. He told me he will give online talk and all that. Dr. Rupa Shah, are you online? Dr. Rupa Shah?
Excuse me, Dr. Praveen, can I just add one line?
Please, please.
Yeah, about the incandescent light.
Can she switch on the video?
This is Dr. Padma here from Bangalore.
Yeah, Dr. Padma, welcome. Dr. Padma from Bangalore. I must acknowledge you. And you came in the last, I called you in the last minute. And Dr. Padma, it was always a great kind of signature.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one line.
Yeah, can you put your video? You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a line about incandescent variability, right? I just read somewhere a couple of days ago, if anyone can correct if I'm wrong. But the thing is that in the visible spectra, the infrared is the one which the infrared light since can penetrate through the skin and cause the production of melatonin inside
you're right on the dot. Actually, this is how we have to work with each other, and your experience and our experience counts in a big way. And infrared, I'm a fan of that infrared therapy. We do that kind of far infrared sauna, and I picked up. It's not just far infrared sauna. You need to have that near infrared also. And I see one more. I need to acknowledge Atul Shah and Rupa Shah. Dr. Padma, thanks. Anything else is there you can add? I sent this one to Ravi in New York, and he was, I think the timing was a bit erratic and all that. And next time we'll gel, certainly. Dr. Atul Shah is from Mumbai.